All right, we're back with some more of this Around the Grid challenge. Hoping to get done with this first season pretty soon here. Obviously, not right now. We're only too hungry at the moment, so still got a ways to go. Let's check out the cars, make sure. Let's get the bad components in and everything. We're definitely going to need to take some ERS penalties here soon. 4% seems pretty low. I do like to take all the penalties at once, if we can, for one driver. And then the same for the other driver. Just so that the losses are... the grid penalties are just like stacked, so it's like, because losing 5 positions and losing 20 is like, by stacking them all up we can have a lot more. They matter less. So oh, we need to check these performance targets. I think we can get 2 into Q2 probably, 1 into Q3. That's good. Fastest lap, I don't like guaranteeing that, and we still have our streak going, so let us continue on.
Welcome to the beautiful
Okay, I think this is like a pretty high rear wing one. It's like something like that maybe, but I know it's like not super high oversteer. But yeah, let's just do our normal simulating practices and stuff. Thinking about if I want to try to save tires, especially on the ATA weekend. Sometimes it can be pretty big. Maybe something like that. But we'll see how. I don't really want to. I don't really care enough about having like extra hards or extra mediums for the thing to. Okay, let's do a little bit more of that, and then we can get some less of that. And unclear where we want the braking stability to be, so let's leave it there. Well, maybe something like that. Maybe we want a little bit less front wing, but we can check after this. That should get us into the 90s, I think, probably. Yeah, 99, okay. Better than I expected. Both starting in the very highs, which is very nice to see.
Welcome to qualifying.
It says untested, but Something like that seems pretty good. Yeah, why not? Okay. Let's get better powertrain components in. The only problem with taking all the penalties at once is that it can be very expensive. But we have like 9 million or something right now, so by the time we get to whatever race we're in, probably Zandvoort and I don't know, maybe Monza after or something like that. We'll do it for the other. Let's just do the 2 flying laps here, since the hards you should hold on pretty well. A lot of times I'll do like 3 even, but I think 2 should be good here.
That's green.
And
now.
if I need to go
Green now.
out for 1 at the end, I will do that. But oh, I should have checked the rear wing. Did I change it to the right one? Are we on the downforce one? I'm not positive, but I think we should be okay-ish either way. The car is pretty strong overall right now.
Go in. Go in. Copy.
Not like race winning strong, but you know, pretty good. All right, let's reconfigure for just 1 lap here. And if we need to go up at the end for 1 last lap, we are ready to do that. But I think maybe just saving the hards here in case we want them in the race seems unlikely, because I doubt we want 2 hards, and yeah, these ones being slightly used makes them a little bit worse of an option anyways. So I guess in that case it probably just makes sense to just be like, okay, well, we'll just go out and make sure nothing crazy happens.
Chicken flag.
Albon isn't improving, but Sargent is, so very good for Sargent, who's, you know, slightly more vulnerable, but not improved Sector 2, and then Albon did improve Sector 2, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't seem to be that much of a difference between the laps, and yeah, it looks like no improvement from either of them, so. But 8th and 9th is plenty good, and if they can do that, if that's where they end up in the race too, then that's where I got 100% there, 96 there. Probably wanted a little bit less braking stability. That's alright. Yeah, again, on the mediums, I think we can do 2 flying laps. They should hold up a little bit better than the softs we normally do. So, and again, I like this. Just helps build their confidence. It's like after the first flying lap is complete, we should see their confidence go up into the very high or sometimes peak. Although this time they started on very high anyways, but and that can make a huge difference on their lap times, the confidence. But the other thing is you get more shots at having a traffic-free run, you know? Albon has an extra set of mediums, but I don't think there's any risk that realistically that he's not going to make it. But that could be big in the race. We'll see what the strategies look like, but if we can devise a strategy that uses 2 mediums, a lot of times those are pretty good. I'll have to see how the different tires stack up and everything too, and what the degradation is going to look like. I think this is pretty frequently a 2-stopper, and I think the softer compounds are pretty good.
Okay, good lap. Mechanic, so go in lap, go switch in lap.
Yes.
So getting something like a soft medium is probably pretty good instead of having to do like a soft medium hard or something like that. That is probably going to be like one of the preferred strategies. So an extra set of softs for Sergeant. See, Albon only has 2 softs. That's the trade-off for getting the 2 mediums. So I think I want to keep a soft for the race. So I think I'll probably just do 1 flying lap twice. And then Sergeant can maybe have 2 softs, but his smoothness is so bad that I don't know if I want to try it to stop. Like maybe a soft tart soft or something might be doable. We'll have to check the degradation and everything here. But I think I'll probably just use 2 tires for him. Yeah, we'll see.
That's great.
But yeah, Albon, I definitely want to keep 1 set of softs at least.
So keep the delta negative where you can.
And boxing this lap.
Yep, copy.
Albon had a really bad lap there. So that's kind of annoying, especially considering I don't have an extra set of softs to send him out on. But okay, that's much better. Sergeant up to 8th, but he'll probably fall down again at the end here. But it's looking not too bad. 6th and 9th. If that's how it pans out, that seems pretty good. 7th. 7th and 9th, not too bad. An acceptable starting position for us. Something like a soft, medium, hard, just use all the compounds for Sergeant probably is pretty good. Yeah, and that seems to be most of the strategies are some variation of that. Probably lean on the hard a little bit more, maybe. Oof. Something like that. Whereas with Albon, I think we can do probably soft, medium, medium here. Oh, it's gonna rain. Whew. We need to make it about 35 laps. So put these onto enters. And we'll set them around lap 35. We'll see how the, okay, well. Even just aggressive seems like it kills the tires so fast here. But I think I like that. Start on the softs and then go on to the mediums. And we can just run them mostly on standard to try to make sure they make it to the point where the rain is coming, because it's kind of our weather center isn't great, so I guess we'll do basically the same here for Sergeant. Because it is going to be at least, there's definitely going to be a stop before before the rain for everyone, I think. I don't think anyone can make their tires go that long. Maybe if they go like light on hards or something like that. But the deg here is pretty high, so something like this. Let's go down on fuel a considerable amount, considering the rain is coming, which makes it very easy to recover fuel. That'll give us really good
There's a fantastic atmosphere.
start,
And here
hopefully.
we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix.
We might even be able to, gain a few places
And it's lights out.
early on here.
And away we go.
Sunlight. 6th and 8th. That'll be a pretty solid way to start the race. see what other tires. There are some people on hards, but mostly mediums, a few softs. The tires aren't really overheating, which is kind of surprising, but they are still... They are falling off pretty fast, so... I'll tune them down. Go to top up on the ERS. Go to battle assist mode. And balance on the fuel. There's going to be a lot of fuel to recover towards the end, but... Like I said, wet race is usually pretty easy to recover the fuel. Even when you're down quite a substantial amount, but we shall see. We shall see. It should be quite a while before the rain comes. We've got no update so far, so. Right that we're on softs and falling behind some of these drivers on the slower compounds is a little bit worrying, perhaps, but we're not just losing energy here, but especially being so light and everything. Yeah. A couple of fast drivers and fast cars that were out of position. I don't know if they took grid penalties or what, but they've overtaken Sargent here. Well, one of them at least he must have qualified, right? But
The window is open. Okay.
all right, let's start attacking with Sargent. And we'll let Albon carry on for a little bit longer. Sargent should be able to complete this next lap. So we'll put him after this lap onto the mediums. Hamilton overtaking Albon. Albon here onto the mediums as well. And we'll just run them on standard in order to kind of, you know, increase the chances that we can make it to the rain with just the one stop and without our tires being in terrible condition. They're taking a little while to get up to temperature, so maybe I should have stayed on attack a little bit longer, but seems okay. 11th and 12th, but a lot of these guys are going to have to pit still, so. Yep, there we go, up to 8th and 11th. There are still some more people we might jump in the pits or end up right behind. I think if we had been a little bit more aggressive coming out of the pits, getting the tires up to temperature and stuff, we could have maybe jumped more people, but or jumped anybody instead of getting overcut, which looks like we basically got overcut. Stroll onto the hards. Now we got a lot of soft runners that used to be the medium runners. I would assume they went medium soft as opposed to our soft medium. But
there's a risk of rain coming.
Copy.
yeah, we know there's supposed to be rain. We're all prepared for it. We'll keep an eye on things. Yeah. So it's starting to rain now. We'll see how things start to progress around lap 33, which is, you know, pretty much exactly where we... It might be all the way until lap 40 before the track is really getting wet enough, because it seems to be coming down pretty slowly right now. which case staying on standard seems like the best bet, although I might tune Albin up to aggressive here in a little bit, since he has way better wear, both by getting onto the mediums a little bit later and just having better smoothness. Let's see what are the competitors on. Their softs are getting pretty low, about as low as Sergeant's mediums, but they should continue to drop faster than the mediums, so it might be good for me. It should soon getting into interest territory. Okay, let's tune that to aggressive. Try and get everything we can out of these tires.
Big crash, watch out.
Okay, I think we
Be
picked
careful
here,
for debris.
and we hope that
We've got a yellow flag here.
crash is going to bring out a safety car or
Here we
something,
go, heading into turn 1.
or VSC.
Cutting it so close.
That would be pretty. Oh no,
And
there's
you can
nothing.
see how the
Some little tapping, so definitely not safety car worthy. Albin will carry on one more lap and then pit.
Let's go push.
Copy.
Signs is already pitting.
Pit entry.
Okay.
Oh man, these guys are so far ahead. They're just going into the pit right now. Lost so much time to them. But Sergeant might actually have a pretty good shot here. With the undercut. Although the only person who's really undercutting is Albin, but Sign's already on the inters, but these guys are staying out, so these guys are on the inters too, but Stroll and Hamilton and Ocon we should definitely get ahead of. We were ahead of, and we've got onto these tires at the right time, I think. At least a better time than he's going to. I went down to standard and they're still heating up. I guess it's not quite at 1 millimeter yet, so. Sergeant actually did lose a lot of time. He probably was on a lap too soon, but things are ending up pretty okay for Albin here. Let's fast forward, and if we see situations where we can maybe use the ERS to get some overtakes done, we'll consider doing that. But otherwise, I think this is going to be pretty boring into this race here. Full attack, it looks like these could even survive, but I'm concerned about the temperatures. If they get over 105, they just drop off so fast. And I'm getting up to the 90s and stuff. But let's definitely go stay enters the rest of the race. Looks like slightly to moderately overheating is not a huge deal. It does make them drop off faster, but not fast enough for me to care. Okay, Sergeant is looking like he might be in a position to overtake Ocon. But this is not exactly the easiest track to overtake on, so maybe not. Okay, let's see. If we go full attack, push on the fuel, and deploy with ERS Battle Assist, Okay, we get the overtake done. One of our biggest things is like we have such good DRS effectiveness. Anytime it rains, it's not ideal for us in terms of
Now
actually,
we should be able to take a look here.
getting the overtakes
Here
done.
we
But
are going into
especially
turn
like
9.
Logan Sargent, I think has pretty poor
And they
overtaking.
squeeze by. And that's 10th place and up into the point.
That was pretty good though. And that is a big move. We gotta cool the tires a bit though.
Back off a bit, please.
Copy.
Hopefully he doesn't get re-overtaken while we do that. While we cool the tires, and we'll probably have to start recovering fuel in a little bit here. We'll start with Albon because I don't think he's going to catch signs, but also I don't think he's going to get caught by Hamilton, so Sargent maybe catch Hamilton. I don't know. We'll have to see what the lap times are like when now that we're past Ocon. But interestingly, Sargent might get lapped here, in which case I wouldn't have to worry that much about fuel. Although it's probably only like 1.4, 1.5 or something for the like fuel per lap.
Back on track, please.
I should say somewhere, right? If I look at reports. Man, so there's a lot in degradation per lap, but like 3/10 faster.
So heads down, focus.
Copy.
Pre-race reports, maybe. Let's see. Time considerations. All you're considering. No, we want the amount of fuel per lap, which we can see in the beginning thing, but apparently cannot at this point. But we have 10 laps. Yeah, it's probably something like 1.6 or so. But that means we only need to recover a little bit, which shouldn't be too hard to do. See, Sargent's not catching Hamilton, I don't think, and Albon is not catching signs, I don't think. How are their tires holding up? They're probably not even aggressive on them, so yeah, they're holding up better than ours, so we'll probably start attacking. Let's go balance there. Let's go back to neutral. Safety car.
Sense off. There's probably a lot of debris on the start finish.
There's
Oh, we've
gonna
had
be
a
like
crash.
1 or 2 laps at the end or something. Maybe. Signs out, that's good though. So
Safety car,
that
safety
gives
car.
us 7th and 8th.
Keep delta positive. Keep delta positive.
But
Yeah, copy that.
yeah, the distance.
Keep
is
working
so
your
huge
front
here,
tires. Keep working your front tires. Just check the track condition.
Well, I guess Sargent is gonna get unlapped. It's gonna be hard to catch anybody. Because yeah, he's like the only. He's the highest
No further
lapped one.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see if we even start racing again. No, yeah. Maybe I'll do the thing where it's like, oh, the last little sprint here at the end. Yeah, safety car ending, so it's like it's basically impossible to get anything done in that remaining time. So especially like Sargent is like gonna have Any chance?
Principal, yeah, we take.
Yeah.
But 7th and
PPI.
9th will be good enough. And yep, that's how it ends. So,
Well, what an
pretty good overall. They each lost 1 place in the race, but I think we went on to Inters slightly too soon. If we had staggered them both by like 1 lap, it might have been a little bit better, but honestly, I don't think so. I think it's just that we had to deal with George Russell, made it past a ton of people, so I think he probably had some grid penalties and stuff. But we increased our lead over Alpine, which is nice. We did okay in the pit stops, maintaining our position, gaining a little bit on the AlphaTauri, so 5th in both championships would be kind of cool to do for the first season. 10th, 7th, good. And 15th, 9th. Quite good. Okay, well, we need to install the replacement there. So yeah, okay, so we have the right front wing. Did we have the right rear wing on? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, that was just the rest of the speed one. But for this next race, we definitely want the high speed stuff on. Yeah, we need to manufacture one of these. Make sure we have 4, just in case something happens. Chassis, we're already manufacturing, right? Okay. Front wing, we want the high speed one for this. Manufacture one real quick. Side pods are good. On underfloors, we could use another one, but we don't have any. And suspensions, we definitely need more. But I think we already used both of the manufacturing, right? Yeah, but they'll both be done in 3 days, so I probably should have done that differently, where I did, rear wing and then front wing. Although we're not going to get a suspension done in time anyways. If there is some sort of failure, we're going to have to emergency manufacture no matter what, so yep. Done. Let's go for 2 suspensions and 1 underfloor. Booked in for the 31st. Just look at my hand. Sure, yeah. Sponsorship obligation. Rear wing manufactured. Cool. And on to the race. Let's go to the race preparations. Let's set up these. I think we can assume both will make it into Q2. Both in the top 15 is pays better. Fastest lap, I don't want to guarantee, and we've got our streak still going, so that's good. We've got 11 million. One thing that is kind of funny to me is how bad Spa is for doing taking your penalties. When in real life it feels like it's one of the tracks that a lot of the top teams frequently take all their penalties at. Right, so yeah, it's kind of weird how bad it is in this one, but maybe with the just really good DRS effectiveness, it wouldn't be that bad of a track for us to do it at. But I think Zandvoort is really going to be the place to do it, because if we look at the car analysis, we have really good high-speed cornering. I mean, like, relative to where we are. Which obviously is good here as well. But it's like high and medium speed, I think, are the big things at Zandvoort. And I think that, I think it's into turn 1, there's like a really good passing opportunity there. So we'll have to see about. I mean, that should be like a really good place for us to take our penalties because of that. Our research, we're almost done with this front wing research. I think we might take a look at some of the designs and see if there's any place where we feel like we can actually get like a really
This
big
weekend, we're in Belgium in the
advantage. But it would have to be really, really big just because of the fact that I think we want something like that or something. Because of the way that the technical regulations are for this season. I'll do one as like a more cornering focused and one as more traction and braking stability. We can probably put this down to like 13 laps or something. Yeah, because the regulation changes are going to be affecting everything. It's not like, oh, well, we could just, make new side pods and our expertise is going to transfer, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just do a quick attack lap.
Light rain in the pit lane at the moment.
Oh, I should have
Okay, copy.
Okay, happy to manage tyre short term.
Yep, copy.
We're happy to push on with the tyres.
Yep,
When you slide go on board,
copy.
Well, we got one feedback.
Further rain expected.
Copy.
So maybe we can make some slight adjustments, depends on what we got feedback on, and I'm thinking giving him a little bit of front wing, something like that. Maybe. We'll see if that's better. It looks like it's going to be raining really hard, right? So we'll just put on wets. We can reevaluate that. After the reconfiguring is done, we'll look at the even if it does get into wets, it's not going to be for long, so we'll go into the inters instead. Albin and I didn't change all that much, so he's ready to go out really, really early.
So happy to build a gap with temperature.
Yeah.
I guess especially if it's gonna rain, it'd be really bad to take penalties here as well. Let's get the inters on. Alright, I'm gonna leave this running for a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. Let's get it back onto a fast forward here and see what we end up with in terms of setup confidence. Did I give enough laps? Is 13 enough laps? I feel like it should be, but I was gonna say what, like pretty much the whole time, so we're at 3 and yeah, it looks like it. Looks like we'll get there. If not, I can probably just cancel the call car in for a lap or 2 or something, you know? Looks like it's gonna temporarily get into potentially dry territory, but he's on. Oh, he's not. No one's right. Yeah.
Feedback on time. Feedback from you.
Yeah, we are looking a lot.
Copy that.
Okay, let's see. Okay, we can maybe. Go for something more like this. I have no idea if this will be good or not. Maybe a little less front wing and let's go up to like 20 laps or something. I doubt I'll have enough time to do 20 laps, but yeah, it doesn't matter. We just want to keep them out the rest of the time. No, I should have canceled this call in. I was thinking about doing it, but then I didn't. And okay, let's see. Probably a little bit of that. No, wrong thing. I wanted to do this up a little bit. feel like I might want a little bit more braking stability here, but that'll be easy enough to change if it comes to it. Before qualifying, we'll see though. I'm just basing that off of what I saw on Sargent's car, which sometimes the drivers can have a slightly different preferences. And we'll just let them run. We'll see how their satisfaction is at the end.
Why is the PU so low?
Get some decent track acclimatization here.
No rain expected. No rain expected.
Not too bad.
Copy.
Yeah, I know, but no need to might as well just burn out these inters. Get a little bit more track acclimatization, and Sargent would even come close to, I guess,
Feedback on limitation.
Yeah, it's okay.
Copy that.
and we'll see if we can use the information from the other one, to help get their setups kind of dialed in a little bit more. Because if we can get them both up into high, that's going to be much better than them starting in medium. By the time the race comes, they should be in high either way. Just because of the additional track acclimatization. Okay, I think I want less rear wing. Or front wing, I mean. Probably more, something like that. I already know that was optimal, so that's good. Feels like the oversteer is going to be a little bit off here still. I don't know if I want more or less, though. Let's put in the qualifying engine, and we'll swap just the engine out. After qualifying before the sprint. Everything else, I mean, we're putting the best DRS in for both parts, no matter what. We just don't really have any other option. Okay. I would like to probably do 2 flying laps, but we'll see what the track conditions are going to be like. Yeah, I think there's no use.
It's green now. Green now.
The laps are so long here. It's like one of the big things. It's gonna start raining harder soon, but Albon might be okay. He's gonna get a toe off Alonso.
You are P2. You are P2.
Give them a pretty good time.
That was a good lap. That was a good
Sargent's
lap.
time was not
Go in and
great,
box.
but Punty did to put us into position to go into Q2, which is all we really care about from him. Let's just bolt on these softs. And wait for it to dry up. We got them both into starting in high with our setup changes, so that's good. And into very high during this qualifying, so. Although Albon might drop back down to high by the time we're ready to send him out. I think at about 2:30 or so, we send them out for their final flying lap. 2:30 left in the session. They should have plenty of time to make it around. Let's start their flying lap. Only
Okay,
Norris
that's
in the
second
way,
flag.
but actually kind of annoying that even Norris is in the way, but we are the two slowest, but we're the only ones who have not completed a dry lap. And obviously improving in all sectors. No purples, so I'm less certain that we're doing well, but this should be the driest the track is and most rubbered in and everything, so it should have been the best time to do a lap, but unclear if it actually was, because sometimes the way things work around here is a little bit sussy. Yeah, we got up to 92 and 94. I think you probably want more traction and a little bit less braking stability. Unclear though. Okay, we'll just do the one flying lap. Even the used softs are like so lightly used that even if it is going to rain, which it is, I think we should be fine on them. The softs we don't have to
That's great.
worry about using brand new ones for Q2. Certainly not for Albon. Maybe for Sargent, maybe it'll be a problem, but once he's made it into Q2, I'm pretty happy with that, and we get our, bonuses and everything. So looks like everyone is going to be able to finish their lap before the rain
Currently
comes.
P1.
Which
Let's just focus on brakes on the way
I
in.
wasn't
Brakes on the way in.
about. Ooh,
Copy.
that is closer than I would like it to be.
The rain is
Hey, firm.
But Albon didn't get a
That's good.
tow.
P7.
He was out
That's a good lap.
all alone.
Go in, go in.
So
Yeah,
it's a
good
big
job.
hindrance for him on a track like this, but looks like it was good enough to make it through to Q3, and that's what's important. If he didn't, I probably would just take the penalties here, even though it's not the best track for penalties. Just because, like, if we're starting outside the top 10 anyways, that's probably a good shout. I would have still had Sargent to do all the, 1 into Q3 kind of sponsorship stuff. Let's just stay on the new ones and do one flying lap and see if it's going to start raining, because it does actually seem weird how, like, everything is set up. I probably could have done like 2 consecutive flying laps as well. I might have been really good to get the confidence up and everything, but it's really weird how everything is how the qualifying goes, where it's like almost every single
P1.
round of qualifying, if it's a rainy
Let's go,
qualifying,
brakes on the way in.
has like some
Yep.
period of dry and some period of wet.
P6, P6.
It just seems like
That's
Kinda
a good
silly.
lap.
Go in.
Copy.
More rain is coming.
Yep, got it.
I don't know why they bother going out when it's pouring down. Rather not risk crashing and ruining one of my qualifying engines. Third is a great place to start, though. But we knew that this track suited our car for sure. Let's put everything in bad for now. Because everything's getting so low that like really matters now. Sometimes for the P2 of a sprint weekend, I don't really care enough to do all this. Plus, I think it might. Some people say that it might make your pit crew like more tired to do this, but yeah, we're really hurting for components at this point, the powertrain components. So okay, 66 and 61% track automatization is pretty good. It's enough, not enough to get them into very high, but they are both into the highs still, which I mean they already were, so it didn't really
Well, it's a different format.
change that much. But I'll put in like the medium engine, especially on the sprint weekends. Like, there's more opportunities for crashes. Don't want to ruin our really good engines. Okay, I think that. Maybe go mediums on Sergeant and just go full on attack with him. Which is actually slightly faster than the softs, but I do like getting the extra oomph off the start that we can get with the softs. And just having split strategies is, you know, often a pretty good idea. Like I said before, I usually like to try and put my
15 long and challenging laps.
drivers
await the
onto different
drivers
strategies.
into
One on a
race.
one-stopper, one
Here
on
we
a
are,
two-stopper
the
on,
sprint
you know, most
around
tracks. You know.
Spa-Francorchamps.
Some tracks, the one-stoppers, it's not really viable, and so they're both on two-stoppers, but
And it's
I like to
lights out,
offset it,
and
even
away
so.
we go.
Okay. Sergeant lost the place, probably to a soft runner, huh? Yep. But Albon's been able to hold his own, which is nice.
Big crash, watch out.
Virtual
Just remember
safety
in the
car
main
definitely helps the soft runners,
Right,
so,
we're at turn 9. That's the location for this one.
which I think is literally everybody
and
except.
there's the
What?
contact. And that's not what they would have had
Yeah.
in mind when they woke up
Definitely
this
need a
morning.
safety car to investigate that. That
And
never
not
happened
much
there.
that the
I think it was everyone else, right? Yeah. Sergeant's the only one on the medium, so towards the end of the race, you should be able to
BSC.
make up some time
positive.
potentially, but we'll see how that works out. Given this like BSC, we'll see how long the BSC lasts. Not super long, so
BSC ending.
Copy.
we do want to keep an eye on the degradation here for Albon. So we might need to go down to aggressive once he starts to.
Checking the DRS. Copy.
DRS is currently disabled. DRS is currently disabled.
Some pop up. I think we need to go down to aggressive.
Cover attack.
Copy.
For him, we can keep pushing Sergeant. He already was going to have enough to full attack, and now obviously the BSC has even improved that opportunity. So Albon's lost a ton of places. Sergeant has lost a couple too. I don't know why Albon's losing so many places. I'm not like going light on the tires or anything. I'm going faster than these people now, but They were a lot of cars I should not have out qualified to begin with, honestly, but we'll see. Oh my god, I was not paying attention to the fuel. Holy crap. That's going to be a huge problem. I forgot that they were still on push on the fuel because of the VSC. Oof.
Use the overtake.
Yeah, copy.
Yeah, they're not gonna make it to the end on fuel. I'm gonna.
Sainz crosses the line to win the sprint.
Start in last place, huh? With both my guys. I gave them 8th and 9th.
The time is
Did they actually get to classify in 8th and 9th? 6th and 7th after penalties and stuff too, so. Okay, well I guess I'm not gonna take penalties like I thought about doing. The soft, medium, soft is definitely a good strategy here. I'm thinking aggressive here and attack here. I'll probably do something like that. And then you can go on these, and you can go aggressive, attack, aggressive. I can probably something like that. I don't want to mess with the fuel here, just because there are so few laps. Every single lap, it takes a huge amount of fuel, and like I would go down like maybe a couple kilograms, but each lap is like, you know, takes like 3 or something. And it's like 2 point something, but yeah, 2.3. So yeah, I think this will be good because it will also give Sargent the softs in 6th to try and, you know, stay ahead of Albon, because I like it when I don't have to worry about my drivers like needing to overtake each other because the one in the back is on the
We've got 44
faster
laps ahead of us here in Spa.
first tire.
Get ready, it's the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
But Albon did at least temporarily actually still jump Sargent off the start, but oh, Magnussen walked up. It's so crazy how much you can be affected by like one of those first lap like issues like that, because everyone's still like so tightly together that like you just automatically drop all the way to the back, and then trying to get all those overtakes done is like so annoying, especially because like, oh, your tires are going to be worse for wear from doing the spin or lockup or whatever. Guys, overtake Sargent, that's fine. Running in 6th and 7th right now. Albon being out of DRS range is a little bit annoying, but I don't really want to push things too much further. We'll just go down to balanced. Here, normally we would burn off a little bit more fuel than this at the start, but I think if we want to try and get overtakes done later on, it might actually be very good to have the ability to push on fuel. I wonder if it makes sense to push a little bit with Albin just to get into DRS. Oh, he's into DRS. I think he probably just had a fastest sector 3, yeah. Sargent is falling out of DRS now, so let's see if we can get him back into DRS range. I guess his tires are already starting to fall off, which is understandable. We'll be able to pit here soon. We've entered the pit window, so let's just run these tires into the ground now. Should still easily be able to do another lap before they get into the 30 range. We will pit on this optimal pit stop lap.
The window is open.
Okay.
So
Okay, Alex, maximum pace now.
lean on
Yep.
to these tires as well now for a little bit. Stroll has been like just right behind Albin for like ever. I do think we might get a decent undercut here with Sargent, except Sargent is now behind Ocon, but we'll see if he can get some overtakes done here. No. Come on, these high-speed turns. So we should have much better. I mean, high speed is where we should definitely have our biggest advantage over the Alpines, but ooh, Andy got DRS. That was pretty clutch. Okay, Albin. Yeah, I can do one more lap on these mediums. And then we'll go into the hards, and we'll almost certainly be able to do attack with them the whole way, because our mediums are actually like
Yeah, well, box this
wearing
up.
better than expected. So our
Box.
and hards frequently do, so yeah, they almost certainly should. Okay, let's see where Albin comes out in 10th, right behind Sargent. And they both should be able to stay on full attack for the rest of the stint. Sargent's going to have his one last soft stint. We'll see how the tires hold up. If we can hold off long enough to go full attack on the last set of softs too, it might be worth considering doing that, but seems unlikely because Sargent doesn't have that much from this, so you can see he's a little bit maybe above the predicted degradation, but not enough to give us, you know, a couple extra laps that we would need to be able to go full attack on the softs there. Keep an eye on the times too and see how the intervals are going, see if there's any way we're catching anyone or anything like that, but looks like Alonso probably goes to the end on those softs. I don't know, is he gonna stop again for another set of softs? Maybe. He might have been on like medium soft or something. Everyone basically needs to pit in front of us. I think everybody is. So Albin might be in a decent spot on his one stop. But of course, Verstappen and Leclerc are just like 20 seconds clear of the field, so not like a good spot to win, but even a podium seems like kind of reasonable. Given the fact that he's not like having atrocious times compared to everyone else, he's a little bit slower than Sargent here, for example, but not like immensely. He's like, you know, similar, better time than Alonso, you know, similar times to Sainz and Russell. Who are going to have to stop again. The Sainz very soon. So, but obviously 36 seconds. The pit stop is not going to be enough to make up that kind of time, but let's see if Sargent can get this overtake done. It probably doesn't matter all that much because he's going to be pitting pretty soon, but if he could get the overtake done, could mean you could make up a little bit more time before the pit stop. Get into a better window here, so might as well try to go for that overtake. Albon's going to be catching up to Hamilton soon as well. But see, like, these are even like getting into the yellow range, the hards on full attack for, you know, lap after lap after lap. So they're staying above where their like projected DEG is, so they should easily be able to make it to the end from here. And I guess Hamilton boxed, so we got a few more laps. I think we might run one extra lap with Sargent, so we'll just do pit next lap onto the softs.
Box, Logan, box.
Box.
Albon's going to have some extra fuel for sure, but I think for right now we will hold on to it. Signs, I guess those softs probably can make it to the end, yes. But they probably won't be great. But he probably can get Albon here. So the dreams of a podium are probably off the board, but if we can stay in DRS, I'll have Sainz for a little while
Be
too.
careful on start finish. A lot of debris.
Well, this is looking good for Sargent because he's going to be able
Oh,
to
what's happened there with Nick
pit under
DeVries?
VSC, it looks like. So that could be huge for him. What is up with that wall? Everyone's going through it.
VSC close on the delta.
We'll have lots of fuel
Yeah.
to push for a while here. We'll see where Sargent comes out. Probably ahead of Hamilton, behind Stroll. Should be in that window, right? So if he can overtake Stroll into 8th place, that'd be good. But starting out in 9th place on fresh softs, whereas Stroll is going to be on a little bit older softs. Oof, not a great stop. So it still should, yeah, it shouldn't change where we come out. Just a couple extra seconds behind Stroll as compared to where we could be. But some time to get the tires up to temperature, hopefully, before the safety car, the virtual safety car ends.
VNC is ending.
Okay, we're gonna go on to
Copy.
neutral here for him, actually, and we'll just deploy towards the end of the lap to try and get, try and do fastest lap with Sargent. Why not? He's got fresh softs towards the end. Plenty of energy, plenty of fuel, everything, so. It's right on board with him with 2 times speed for our fastest lap attempt here. We didn't quite get the tires up to temperature for the first turn, but it should be good for the rest of it. We already had a green sector 3. Not having a tow or DRS here for this long straight is not great. So he didn't even get green here, but sector 2 especially, I think, is where you could definitely get a purple. Not having anyone ahead, so no dirty air and everything, might actually be more important than a tow. It should be more important than a tow in this sector, but probably, you know, Verstappen and Leclerc are just faster. And I think Verstappen probably just pit onto fresh tires too, pretty recently. So, yeah, probably not going to be able to compete with that, but, you know, not too bad. Let's see, these tires down to aggressive. We'll probably go attack maybe after they drop below 60% or something. Oof.
MST8.
Yeah, you sure did.
Head down.
That turn. I don't know though, that was 8 though. 1, is that a turn? 2, 3, 4, 5? There's no way it's 8, right? Probably just what they have audio of. They've been missing turn 8 somewhere. The hards are going to make it easily. And the soft should have no problem as well. Albon is 6th. Can Sargent get Stroll is going to be the real question. Oh, I guess. Or Russell. Or both. Okay. We're getting down to 4 laps. And he's in striking distance. Or will be soon, at least. Old mediums, old softs. I think Albon's pretty secure where he is. I don't think that's going to change no matter what. Let's see. Sargent, you can try and go for the overtake here. Nice, because we want to be able to try and catch up to Stroll's DRS here. And try and get past him as well towards the end of this race. We do have considerably better tires than him. His tires should definitely be falling off pretty hard here on these last 3 laps. He might even get down into the low 30s range, or even into the, you know, below 30, potentially. But here is where it's going to. Let's see if we can get this overtake done. Yeah, eventually.
Right then, you can take a look now. Now this is Logan Sargent. It's there for the taking.
Yeah, they were side by side for a few of those turns there, but
And ahead goes Logan Sargent.
by the time they get there, Sargent has a clear edge. Better,
Start like up.
I think probably.
Copy.
Full deploy.
Yes, okay.
We'll see if we have to conserve it all with Sargent. We're going to try to not. And see where that puts us. At least for a little bit here. Because we want to try to break out of DRS. But I guess this is the last DRS section, so.
That will be fuel.
Understood.
Yeah. I'm going to save fuel now. Alright, should be fine there.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner.
A win for Leclerc. That's pretty nice for him, huh? Ferrari. But I don't think they have any chance of catching the Red Bulls anyway, so. But still.
Checker flag.
6th, 7th is
P6.
quite good for us.
Well done, guys. Thanks for the hard work.
Nice work.
We'll actually gain a ton of points on our
Check the
this
flag.
year. But yeah, I mean that is definitely what we hope for.
Now that's a really fantastic result.
The best we
for
could
the
possibly
Williams.
hope for is like overtaking Mercedes, which doesn't seem possible. Because this is like one of our better tracks. I guess Zandvoort should be one of our better tracks too. It's a high speed downforce is important and stuff. So, but we gain 9 points on them. So, overtaking them does seem possible. Getting 4th in the championship. So that's another thing to consider when we'd say like, do we want to do another design at all for this year? We did not do well on the pit stops. So we'll remain in 6th, but you know, lose some ground to Aston Martin and fall a bit further behind AlphaTauri. So the double 5th is looking not as promising, but maybe 4th and 6th is possible. That's looking more possible than it was before, but we'll also be able to probably make a lot of progress. On our pit crew during the summer break here. So that's good. Let's, we already started. So the front wing, this one I don't think we want to use anywhere, right? Yeah, it's just like worse in every way than the one we have on right now. This one's better in low speed, but let's just manufacture one of those real quick. We're gonna also want to manufacture some of the different rear wings and stuff. So okay, that's good. Some extra money. The question is, we'll get a huge chunk of money, so we can probably start on a facility upgrade. We're already on that. So design center, maybe? That is really expensive, and we are going to spend a ton of money on powertrain stuff if we buy everything all at once. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot to do these things. Usually that's like the first thing I do at the start of a new run. The race simulator also would be a big thing to upgrade. Except that I do plan on getting at least one already good driver for next season. So saving the money for that instead of getting this, that is probably good. If I can get the design center, the simulation simulator, and the car part test center all up to level 3 for next season, that would be huge. Let's see. So I think Albon has the worst ERS, right? 47%, 54. So I think I can buy all the new parts right now, and we can see where we're at financially. I definitely don't need a gearbox yet, but I almost certainly will before the end of the year. So I might as well take the penalty on it while I'm taking the other penalties. That leaves us with 7 million. Oh, we have to do a new... Oh, we do want to see if we want to do a new design. Okay, let's see. I don't think we want front wing. I think our front wings are good. I don't think we want a suspension. A side pod might be worth doing. An underfloor might be worth doing. I don't like doing another chassis. It just feels weird to do too many chassis. It's like, because everything, you know, goes onto the chassis and it's like, should interact with everything. So it's like a little bit weird to do that, but it looks like we might actually be able to get substantial gains here if we take this down a bit. We can get a little bit of drag reduction, a little bit of intercooling, and a little bit more high and medium speed cornering. But it's not a lot. if I focus exclusively on trying to get engine cooling as good as possible, without like sacrificing anything else. Very minimal gains. While still giving me minimal gains everywhere, admittedly, but very little. Focus on drag reduction as much as possible without hurting engine cooling, which is going to be pretty important, especially given the fact that we're already taking penalties on that. So we do want to make sure we keep our engine cooling up so we don't have to take additional penalties, if at all possible. It gives us a little extra top speed, but it's like, is this worth doing over research? That's the question, really. And honestly, I don't think so, because of the fact that we're going to lose I think it's 10% across the board, right, in terms of expertise. I think it makes the most sense to just try and do a bunch of research and try and make it so our car is actually better as opposed to worse at the start of next year. Okay, here's the new month. And we've got a bunch of money again for getting the pay for the month. Yeah. So, our car's pretty good. It's like pretty decent. Yeah, I have high confidence. I know they just did the check-in thing. 3 cornering? Nice. That's huge for Albon. And 1 accuracy, also nice. 4 defending and 2 overtaking. That's crazy. Oh my god. They're getting so many stats, especially considering I don't have like the race sim upgraded, but they did do a lot of races and I think outperformed their expected by a lot. So they get more development that way, I believe. So all the blues and stuff. Car part test center for Alpine. Let's see, cumulative. So let them get some rest and then into some gym training, and then we'll do like pit stop and car building and some more gym training and some more gym training. Then they can have a day off. Do more gym training, and then maybe like a pit stop drill and gym training. Oh, let's just do a full day of pit stop drills, and we'll do some more gym training. And some more gym training. That puts them up into tired. We'll just do pit stop drills in the afternoon then. Give them a day off. And back to the grind. And probably throw in a car building here. Let's try and throw in as much gym training as we can. Also, we don't want to raise our chances of a mistake, so we'll keep that in mind as well. Let's just do some pit stop drills here right before. And that should be good. I want to see some gym training on this last day. And maybe some car building too. And there we go. If we look at the attributes, we are going to lose a little bit here, but not much. We should probably spend some time focusing on everything but car release. But car building's staying even, which is good. And our times are going down a little bit overall by the end of the month, so seems pretty good to me. He's on what driving standards? Yeah, newest driving standards or wheel to wheel. Yeah, raising his control is super important because we're just like, if we can minimize the mistakes that he's having, then he's not going to cost us extra, and we're not really caring about developing into someone for the future because we'll be replacing him next season. So that's a good one. Overtaking and defending is overtaking especially is very good for us right now because of we want him to be able to overtake well to since he's like got such low smoothness, we're usually putting him on the two-stopper, where overtaking can be like super important to not lose a ton of time, but his overtaking is so bad. Albon's overtaking is actually pretty good, but his smoothness is also considerably higher, so we usually end up putting him on the one-stopper. His development I do actually care about, and we may want to keep working on developing his smoothness, but we might also want to keep him on short run and maybe then also do some like driving standards or wheel to wheel. But especially after he got 3 cornering there, he's like, his pace stats are pretty good too. His pace stats are good, and his racecraft is good. The big thing is the consistency. This accuracy control is good. Accuracy and smoothness are the biggest things that he needs to increase. So let me think about what I want to do with him, because he's probably going to have lower smoothness than who are we looking at? Bottas and we're looking at Pierre Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo. We'll see, but Alonso has 87 smoothness, and Bottas I think also has his is low. I'm actually surprised his overtaking is so high. That seems kind of crazy. So maybe if I get Bottas, then I would rather have more smoothness on Albon. But I think the pace short runs is going to be good either way. We'll see. But Bottas is so expensive to buy out, whereas Alonso's a little bit cheaper, I think, right? It's still quite a bit, I think. His salary is lower, but yeah, biofuel is 11 million. Why didn't I see that on? Oh, 8. Yeah. It's a little cheaper to buy out Alonso, but he expects more pay, obviously. So Gasly might be a good shout. At this point, Albon is probably better than Ricciardo, especially since I've been able to like build him up, and I will continue to build him up over the course of this season. So he might actually even gain a rating point or 2. So that would be huge. So I'm probably not going to get Ricciardo, and it's just I'm not going to replace Albon. I think he'll be strong enough in the second season to be part of our title-winning team. So it's really going to be Gasly, Alonso, or Bottas. Who do we want to pick up? And it's probably going to be Alonso, but we'll see. Got all that running. Oh, facilities, I wanted to see about doing this. And it would be like almost all of my money. So let's see, are there any... How long till the... No, I think I'd rather wait so I can make sure I'm continuing to do research over that time. So front wings are good. Rear wings, I could use one of these. I think this one was just like straight worse, right? It's like slightly better in low speed than this one, and it's like slightly better in like high speed and like top speed than this one. But we have a low speed one and a high speed one. That's all you really need. Sure, yeah. We'll reschedule that. Okay. And research is complete on the rear wing. Manufacturing is complete there. Completed 2 rear wing projects already. Let's do suspension. Next ATR is in 31 days. Okay. I think I'm gonna focus on the like main like structural pieces. In terms of research, I'll put some on the other ones too, on the front and rear wings. But if we look at, if we go to board rules and regulations, technical, we can see that we've already, you know, we're already ahead in a lot of places. Front wing, not yet. So front wing definitely needs another research. Maybe with CFD. Rear wing, we're also not close to. Probably want to use a CFD one there. Side pods we're not close to, but like I said, we'll probably focus on getting side pods. Underfloor, we're already there because we used an ATR period. And suspension, we also need a significant amount more to cover the losses. But let's see, how many more ATR periods do we have? We have one starting in September, and then we should have one starting in November. No, end of October. So we have 2 more, and I think we have 4 parts that need some amount more love. That would be front wing, rear wing, suspension, and side pod. So we might do like, instead of putting it all into one, split it up a little bit between those. But we're also, you know, going to be doing a ton more research projects. So even without ATR, we probably would cover them off and, like, you know, actually get ahead. But we'll see. We can also maybe look at car part attributes. We can see that, like, our chassis is not very good in anything but engine cooling. It's like kind of okay. We don't care about minimum lifespan. We're always going to put that to low. So airflow, middle, and drag reduction are really bad on our chassis. So it's like maybe that's something we want to focus on more. Our front wings seem pretty good, except for like airflow sensitivity. Rear wings, yeah, I mean, it's like really comes down to what we're focusing on, because like we have the best DRS Delta and best high-speed rear wing here. We didn't focus really on airflow sensitivity at all with any of our stuff. We kind of tried to like not lose any, but So yeah, I mean, like, our rear wings are pretty good, so we're not too worried about that. Side pod again needs like substantial improvements to be like keeping up with the grid, and suspension as well is pretty bad. So that's why I wanted to focus on those ones. Underfloor, did I even check that? Our underfloor is not good either, right? Oh, we were looking at the old ones, but yeah, I mean, it's like okay-ish, but definitely not good. So that's why like front and rear wings are actually like pretty solid compared to the rest of the grid. And like, since I like to do that, like focusing them on something kind of deal, so you get like a high speed and a low speed and different versions like that. I think that actually makes those are generally going to be like things that we have to worry less about during the research period. So we might still put some ATR time into them, but we'll do less projects on them for sure. Yeah, let's just keep going. We are going to work on upgrading these before the tour center and the helipad before the start of the post summer break stuff. Yeah, let's just make sure that we're keeping a chassis research project going. Yes, that's probably good. We still have 36 million remaining on the cost cap. Let's double check and see what the projected. We still have 30 million, so we should be plenty good on that. Underfloor research is complete. Let's do a research on the front wing. And we'll just leave it on balanced. We could tune down the like airflow sensitivity stuff, but we might actually care about that in this case. Let's just get an extra chassis, an extra side pod going. Just because we'll probably need them at some point, and if we can stay on top of everything, like get ahead of everything during the summer break, that'll be good. We could probably use an extra suspension too. Producing the front and rear wings for each race is like not that big of a deal. So trying to get these big ones, it's pretty good. See, the advantage of Ricardo is his buyout fee is so low. If I just had like Ricardo and Albon, they'd both be, you know, low 80s. I mean, he should have nothing. I mean, we should just be able to hire him at the end for, you know, like 4 million. That's pretty good. Buyout fee is pretty big here, and the salary is higher. So, but Gasly would be better than Bottas probably, because I think his salary was lower, right? And his buyout fee is lower as well. So I think Gasly is probably a better option than Bottas. The question is it going to be Alonso or Gasly? And I don't know. I've done Alonso a lot. He is one of my favorite drivers in real life. But I have used him a lot in the game, mostly in the previous game, honestly. So I don't know that I necessarily want to use him again in this one. It might be more interesting to do it with Gasly. Cool, suspension simulator is upgraded. So we want to probably try and get Design Center and these ones. But the Design Center is definitely the most expensive. So we'll see if we can get enough money for that together. We got 5 of those. We're working on 5 of those. We got 5 of those. We're working on the 5th one of those. We've got 6 and 6. We got 4 and 4. Okay, well, I think suspension is one that goes pretty frequently, especially in crashes, so we'll just work on making sure we have plenty of those. I want to make sure yeah, okay. 5 days till the race weekend. Let's just one extra chassis. Hopefully that will be enough chassis to get us through to the end of the year. Ooh, I love this. Yes, we'll approve the budget for that. Even though it's going to set us back a little bit, we will be able to do a lot of projects now. We can do everything at the same time. Staff is where I wanted to go, actually. We will hire on some more engineers. Oh, I had messed up on the engineers. Anyways, I was didn't have one working. Oh, because I forgot on the most recent research to. We'll go 3 on that. Let's up this one to 2. And we'll start a new project, researching the underfloor as well, and we will put a couple on there. Cool. So now, yeah, we can be researching every single part at the same time. I much prefer getting that at the beginning of the season, and then you can do a lot of design work. And so you can make sure you're getting everything for the first, like, few races instead of having to compromise some on it. But, yeah, it's such a huge deal. If your design center is in good condition, so that you get the 2 extra slots especially. Getting the extra engineers is still good, even if you can't. But yeah, when you have the extra slots, it's so huge. That's another reason why I really want to upgrade the design center over the other ones, is that the condition is starting to get low, and if at the beginning of next season I want to make sure that it's, in the max, and the refurbish, is expensive, right? So I'd rather save the money and not ever have to refurbish, and instead just upgrade every time it would need to be refurbished. So we're kind of poor right now, but we don't have any more expenses coming until after this race, and we already did got the new powertrain components, so we're not even have to worry about that coming out this race, so we should be pretty good on money overall. Let me make sure I swap all these out, and then I think that will do it for this stream. I might stream more later on tonight, but for now I gotta get some dinner and probably do some Uber deliveries. But yeah, it's looking really good. This first season is going much better than I expected for being on hard, and for not really even pushing that much for this season. Most of the work that we've been doing has been trying to get ready for next season. So we spent a lot of money on facilities between upgrading the suspension simulator and the car part test center, and we'll spend even more there. And we've done a lot of research work and less so design work. So, yeah, I think it's kind of surprising how good our car is, but our drivers are improving really rapidly because we got stuff done. We got the car into a pretty good spot really quickly, and so we're outperforming their expected finishing positions, which makes a huge difference in their development. So that's been really huge. Yeah, I mean, Albin, I think, starts at 80, right? And now he's up to 82. Sargent, I think, starts at 72, and now he's up to 75. So, that's pretty good. If we look at the drivers, Sargent is still behind some of the F2 guys, but yeah, Teo Porcher in this game is so good. Just because like he's so young, like he's 20, right, as compared to like 22 for Piastri and 24 for Daruvala and 22 for Sargent. So those are like kind of the equivalent kind of guys, and they're like so much older, and like especially DeVries is so old. So he has so much more time to grow and develop, but he just becomes so good so easily. But yeah, I mean, Sargent is still the worst driver on the grid, but it's like less so now. It's like less is not as much the worst. So, you know, at least he's better than some of the reserve drivers for the other teams. Better than Liam Lawson and Alex Palou. And Drogovic. So, I guess tied with Drogovic. But, yeah, it's definitely, he's getting there. He's doing much better than he was. So, yeah, it's so crazy, yo. Young Verstappen is to be just dominating so hard. So yeah, and our car rank on the grid, you know, we're like pretty good in top speed and DRS effectiveness. We're in the top half. And then depending on the track, whichever one we're focusing on, like high speed or low speed, we're, you know, 7th right now in high speed because we got all the high speed stuff on. But when we get to the low speed tracks, and, you know, be like pretty much vice versa, high and low speed, by switching those out. So without, you know, having like a clearly like one of the best cars, we can be one of the best cars on the weekend, just by, you know, adjusting that appropriately. And the DRS effectiveness is huge because like it lets us hang with cars far ahead that are, or that should be far ahead of us. They can't pull away so easily some of the time. And when we're, you know, doing like a two-stopper, we don't have to worry as much about getting caught in traffic and stuff, or going for an undercut or whatever. So that I think makes a huge difference a lot of the time too. So DRS effectiveness is huge, and yeah, the fact that we can tune our car to high speed or low speed, depending on the track, is pretty sweet. So, yeah. I guess that is just kind of a summary of how I like to design my cars. But yeah, so we'll keep working our research, especially onto you know, side pods, suspensions, and chassis, which are things that I don't like to design a bunch of. Underfloor, also kind of the same. Front wing and rear wing is the one that I like to do more designs of than anything else, for sure. But usually, like, I'll do a side pod 3 and suspension 3 in a season fairly frequently. But chassis, I usually only go for chassis 2, and that's really just to, like, okay, let me, you know, lower the lifespan of the chassis. So the more research we can do on it, the better, so that we can, when we do build that first new chassis, it will be competitive throughout the whole season. But yeah, I mean, it's nice that we're not wasting a ton of money building a ton of chassis that we don't use. It is one of the cheaper designs. But again, like, partially just because, like, it doesn't make any sense to me to do it. Like, it doesn't make sense to just have a new chassis, like, 3 or 4 times in a season. It just doesn't happen in real life, right? At least not in modern day. They've said that, like, it's basically impossible in the Cost Cup era to do that. So, but yeah. So I'll hop off. Maybe I'll be back on again later tonight to do another a couple races, and we'll